we did yesterday is we're doing the whole series from Monday through to Saturday this week. And some of you are teachers, some of you have been doing this whole series with me, but we have some newcomers as well. So we're building up this whole week. So our focus yesterday was on getting connections into the different muscles in our body, feeling out the different muscles around each of the joints, so we can start pulling on that information as we go into a little bit more challenging work over the next week. So please just give yourself permission to take a break if you need, and give yourself as many modifications and props as you need as well. And then I'm going to open up the conversation at the end of the class if you guys have any questions. Is that cool? Everyone's good?
Yep.
Okay,
Fantastic.
stunning. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of the background noise and have an amazing class. I'll see you guys in like an hour. Okay, so we're going to be starting standing towards the back of our mats, and feet are going to be slightly apart. Just allow your arms to relax beside you. Make any little rolling actions of the shoulders or bending of the knees or twisting of the spine. And then just let yourself settle into a quiet space and allow your eyes to close. Feeling your mind slow down for a moment. Feeling your breath center you and bring you into the space for the next hour. And as you stand here, just allow your body weight to rock gently forwards and backwards. And with your eyes closed, you might feel that it's a little bit less stable than when your eyes are open. So maybe just make the movement a little bit smaller. So you can just feel the subtle, deep connections in your body. And then bring yourself to stand over the centers of the arches of your 2 feet. And then start to rock gently from side to side. And as you shift your body weight from right to left, just feeling the sides of your body supporting you. And again, with your eyes closed, you might want to make it a little bit smaller than you normally do, just so that you keep your balance. And then stand evenly over the right and the left legs. And we just pause here for a moment. Feeling the right side body, the left side body. Feeling the front of your body lifting upwards. And feeling the back of your body gently rolling downwards. And feeling that little bit of a lift up through the midline of your body. Soften your eyes for a moment. Let your eyes relax backwards into your head. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh. Open your eyes slowly, blinking. And we're going to start with a half roll down. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, just look towards your feet. And just let your upper back round over. And then through the middle of your back. And then just come to a point where your hands are just hanging in front of your knees. And if you pause there for a moment, you can feel the shape of your spine is in a C curve. And you can feel perhaps a little bit of a stretch along your back muscles. Notice where you're tight today. Take another breath in. And then let's continue rolling forward. So now you're going to fold from the crease at your hip. And as you come forward, notice how that stretch moves into the back of your legs. Keep relaxing your neck if you can. Take a breath in. And then back up you come to standing. Feel the lift through the front of the body and feel the cascading downwards through the back of your body as you lift all the way up and tall. And we're just going to gently tilt our heads from side to side. And it's quite a small tilt. It's almost like you're going to listen to your shoulder with your one ear. And as you do that little movement from side to side, just notice if one side is perhaps blocked or a little bit tighter than the other. And then bring your head back to the center. I'm going to turn so you can see the back of my body, taking 3 fingertips on each hand, placing them just at the bottom of your neck on either side of your spine. Start shaking your head, no, 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 and start gently sliding your fingers up either side of the spine all the way to your skull and release. Place your fingers at the base of your neck and we shake our heads, no, 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 no. And as you slide your fingers up, it's almost like you're pressing your fingers towards each other to compress the spine. Release. And we take one more time. Shaking head, no, 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 no. And this is a gentle realignment for yourself from the Dawn method. And release. And letting your hands relax beside you. Now pretend you have a piece of chalk on the tip of your nose, and you're going to draw tiny little circles with the tip of your nose on the wall in front of you. And you can keep your eyes open or you can close them. Some people feel a little bit dizzy if they close their eyes. And you can start to make the circle a bit bigger. You can maybe let it slow down. And then come to the center, and then starting small as you change directions and draw circles the other way. Start small, and it should almost feel like your head is wobbling on top of your spine. So this is a little bit of a gliding action. It's a neural glide, and it's helping to release the fascia around the back of the neck. Start to make that circle a little bit bigger. No strain. And then come all the way to the center. Allow your head to float on top as you inhale. Create some space. Exhale, nod your chin, and let's go halfway forward with our roll down. And just letting your hands come in front of your knees, feeling the curve of your spine, and just observing how this feels at the moment. Are things starting to release for you? And then let's go all the way down towards the ground. So now you're folding over at the hip, moving the release to the back of your legs. Just stay here as deep as your body allows. And as you come all the way back up, you are rooting into the feet, coming all the way up, lifting through the front body, cascading down the back body, and roll the shoulders back and around a few times. I want you to start to feel the opening at the front of the chest, feeling that little squeeze between the shoulder blades. And we're just going to take one more time and allow it to settle. Bend your knees very slightly. Take your right hand, reach it up. Come up and over to a lateral release. Come back to the center and let the arm float down. Let's do the same thing with the left arm. So we're just going to do a few side to side before we do our trampolining. And release, right arm, feel it out. And center, one more time with the left arm, up and over. And release. And now bring the right arm up and over and stay there just for a moment. And we start to do just a little bit of a pulsing. And you can let your hip move to the side. You can let your rib cage move. You can add a stretch with the arms. So that's going to add a bit of tensioning. Gentle breathing. One more. And come all the way up. Pause for a moment. And now left arm comes up. over, and then you can either stay there or you can add that little bit of a trampolining movement. And when I talk about trampolining, it's imagining that you have a trampoline on the side of your body here. So you just push into it and then it rebounds you back. So there's no forced action here. And this is training the elasticity of our fascia, of our connective tissue. So it's working at a slightly different level than just the muscles. And we're going to take just one more time. And bringing the arm all the way up and just let your arm relax beside you. Take a breath in, create some space, and then let's roll part way down. Coming forward just until your hands are in front of your knees. Stay for a moment, observe how are things feeling now, and then fold over from the front of the hip. And again, as you come forward, just observing how that perhaps now feels along the back of your legs. Take a little breath in and unravel the spine. Coming all the way up, really root into the feet. Lift the front of the body, cascade down the back of the body, and once again, just roll the shoulders back and around a few times. And then allow your shoulder blades and your arms to settle. Start shifting your body weight over to the right, and then shift over to the left. And now shift over to the right, and you hold here. Put your hands together and press your thumbs onto your sternum. So you're physically pushing your thumbs into your chest, into your heart space. And then see if you can start to just hover the left toes off the ground. It doesn't have to be a big lift. And what we're doing here is actually part of something called kinesiology. And as soon as you press your thumbs against your sternum, it centers you. It helps you balance. So you still have to connect into what's happening through the right foot, the ankle, and all the way up through the body. But bring your awareness to your thumbs against your chest. Keep breathing, and then placing that foot down. And again, shifting your body weight over to the left side, pressing thumbs to your heart space, and then just see if you can hover that toe off the ground. It's not a big lift, unless you really want to lift your leg up high, that's fine. Focus your gaze, stay with your breath, feel your left foot, your left ankle, all the way up through your body, and then bring your awareness to your thumbs connecting into your chest. And releasing the feet down, lining up your toes. Inhale and reach both hands all the way up. Exhale, open your arms, clear that little bubble around yourself. And just letting the arms relax. We're going to do one more roll down. Take a breath in. Exhale, nod your chin, and we start melting forward. Coming into that C curve of the spine. Stopping with your hands just in front of your knees. Take another breath in. Exhale, folding all the way over. And then bend your knees enough that you can get your hands to the floor and start to walk yourself all the way forward until you come down onto hands and onto knees. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. You're going to keep your feet relaxed out today. Get your wrists into a comfortable place. And then on your breath, start pushing your hands and the tops of your feet into the ground and feel how the abdominals start to connect. And then if you're very comfortable on your wrists and on your feet, you could push a little harder so that the knees actually come up off the ground. So you're getting quite a strong stretch around the front of the ankles, shoulders away from the ears, taking one more breath in and out, and then releasing the knees all the way down. Let's go into a cat stretch. Tuck your tailbone under. Start rolling up through the spine, tucking your chin in. Stay for a moment, just enjoy that stretch across your upper back. And then lengthen your tailbone out behind you. And let's go into a little bit of an extension. So you can keep it small to begin with if it feels better for your back. And then again, tuck your tail. Start traveling through your spine. Now keep moving at your own rhythm. But start to feel the journey of the spine in between your two end positions. So that's wonderful when you hit that rounded spine. That's wonderful when you come into this extension. But what about everything in between? Can you move segmentally? Can you refine the movements, and can you connect your movements to your breath? And we take one more time, round your spine. Now we're going to stay in a rounded cat stretch. Again, keeping your feet relaxed out. Start pushing into the hands, pushing into your feet. Find the abdominal connection, and you can stay here, or you could lift your knees off the ground. You are in a curved spine, feeling the lift of the belly. Stay with your breath, and then lower the knees gracefully, and just lengthen your spine into a neutral position. Reaching your left arm out to the side. Let's come into a little bit of a thread the needle, just to take the pressure off our wrist for a moment. So we're going to stay here. You can move the right hand if you want to, but our focus today is going to be on bending the left elbow. So you're going to pat yourself on the ribs and then releasing that arm out. So this is just a very gentle way to start opening up the back arm line. And the back arm line includes all those muscles between the shoulder blades, so your trapezius, your rhomboids, the back of the shoulder, the rotator cuff, and then down the arm to the triceps. Wonderful release for the left back arm line. Stretch that arm out, and then connect the right hand firmly to the ground. Come all the way up and just reach that left arm out to the side, and then bend the left elbow and salute your fingertips to your temple. You're going to bring your left elbow towards your right arm, and then you're going to open up, and maybe you can take that elbow up towards the sky a little bit. And again, bringing the elbow towards the right arm, and then open up. One more time. Don't force it. Just find your range so that it feels good for you. Come back to just the center and place down. Take a moment to center yourself. Right hand reaches to the side, coming into a thread the needle. So stop at any point that you feel that you need to. Give yourself a prop underneath your head if you need to. Move the left hand a little bit so that there's no pressure on the wrist. And then start bending and straightening the right elbow. So again, depending on how tight you are along the back arm, you might be able to easily touch your ribs with your hand, or it might feel like it's a little bit of a strain. So again, don't force it, just keep a gentle rhythmic movement and just see if it starts to ease up and release itself as you go. Let's just take two more. One of my favorite releases for the neck and for the shoulders. And just pause here. Place your left hand securely to the ground. Up you come, reaching out through the right arm, and then bend that elbow and salute. Bringing the right elbow towards the left arm, And then opening your elbow and just breastbone to open up a little bit as well. And again, rolling down and opening up. One more time. Come back so that you level out the shoulders and then placing both hands all the way down. Extend the right leg back, level out the pelvis and your shoulders, and then pick up that leg so that you have your leg extended in line with the hip, but you haven't collapsed into the lower back. Flexing that foot, sweeping your leg around towards the right, and then just placing that foot down on the floor. See if you can roll the ankle flat. Lengthen your spine, and then just start moving your body weight slightly backwards and forwards. And I'm quite tight through the inner thigh, through the midline here. So I feel quite a strong stretch. Some people don't really even register this, and you might be able to go quite far back and forwards. So just what works for you, pay attention to your knees. Come back halfway and stop. Round your spine like a cat, tucking your tail, and then push up onto the tips of your fingers. Staying here for 3 breaths, in and out. Feeling the belly lift, relaxing through the neck and through the shoulders. And then placing the hands flat down, lengthen the spine, bringing your shoulders forward just in front of your wrists, and then pick up your leg and see if you can hold it there for 3, 2, 1. Sweep the leg around and bring your knee all the way in. Make any adjustments you need to your position. Left leg extends back, picking up the leg and just holding it there. Finding the placement of your shoulders and your wrists. Finding the placement of your pelvis and your knees. Flex the back foot and then circle that leg around to the side and place your foot down. Make any adjustments you need so it works for you. Long spine, and we start gently moving backwards and forwards. So this is a fascial release, specifically focusing on the inner thigh. And then with fascia, that inner thigh leads up to the pelvic floor, around the internal organs, to the diaphragm, and up into the back of the throat, a little muscle there called the longus colli. It's all connected, guys. Come back halfway, stop, round your spine like a cat, lifting up through the belly, tucking your chin in, press up onto the tips of your fingers, and you stay, and you breathe. Placing your hands flat down, lengthen through the spine, bringing your body weight forward. Now, lift up that leg and see if you can hold it there. 3, 2, 1. Sweep your leg all the way around to the back and bringing that knee all the way in. Tuck your toes under. Now you're going to push into your hands and your feet and see if you can lift your knees just up off the ground. Start moving your shoulders backwards away from your hands. Spread your fingers out and really push into the floor. Then lift your hips halfway up towards the ceiling. So your spine is lengthened, your arms are lengthened, but your knees are bent. And now start pedaling one heel to the ground and then the other heel. So just alternating sides. Finding that release through the plantar fascia, the Achilles tendon, and up into the calf muscle. Press both heels down towards the mat. Take a little breath in and out. And then once again, lower your knees all the way to the ground, releasing the feet out. And then just open your knees, big toes together. Sit yourself back into a resting position. And see if you can get your forehead to the ground. If not, give yourself some padding underneath your head. Give yourself padding for the knees if you need. And then just let the arms completely relax. Take all the pressure off your hands and your wrists. And maybe even just wiggle the fingers around, make little fists. Get the circulation back. And taking 3 wide inhales and exhales. Nice, easy breath. Walk your hands forward and bring yourself all the way up. Wrists below shoulders, knees below hips. So we're going to do a little bit of side bend series, but we're going to bring ourselves into position through a hovering the knees. So pushing into the hands and feet, you're going to lift the knees just up. Move your left hand underneath your face, pivoting feet, knees, hips, balance on that left hand, and see if you can bring that right hand all the way up. And now gracefully put your hips on the floor so you are sitting sideways right here. Beautiful, looking lovely. And now you're going to inhale to reach the arm up. Exhale, bend that bottom elbow, do a long stretch, and then do a little twist with your upper body and placing your hands onto the floor. Take a moment to square the shoulders, and we start to arch the spine gently, and then curl back. And again, a little bit of an arch, and curl. Taking 2 more. Just explore the movement that feels good for you. 1 more. And exhale. Come back just into the center, moving your left hand to the center, bringing the right hand all the way up, and you hold it here. Bend the top elbow so you're going to salute. And now bend the bottom elbow to do a little push-up and press up again. Little push-up and press up. So you want to keep the scapula glued to the back of your body. 1 more time. Little push-up and hold it. Taking the top arm up. Make sure that your bottom hand, you've got the fingers pointing away. Start to lift your hips. Then see if you can lift your knees. There's your side balance. And now pivot so you face down towards the ground again. Lower your knees, round your spine, let your feet relax back, and just go back into a little bit of a cat stretch for a second. If you want to add some trampolining movements, you can. And come all the way forward, and then lengthening through the spine. Tuck your toes under, we're going to do the other side. Lifting your knees, hold. Move your right hand under your face, pivoting ankles, knees, hips, and then reaching the left hand all the way up, and then lower slowly towards the ground. No crash landings allowed. So now you're going to be sitting on your right hip. Beautiful, right here. We're going to reach overhead into a long side stretch, and then do a little twist with your shoulders and placing your hands to the floor. And you don't have to go into a full twist. You're going to start lifting through the chest and then pressing away. So it's an arch of the spine and a curl. 2 more. Don't force. One more. And press. Center yourself. Moving your right hand forward. Bringing the left arm all the way up so you're facing the side again, and then bend the top elbow to salute. And let's do 5 little tricep push-ups. Keeping the scapula glued to the back of your rib cage so that the only movement is coming from the tricep. And one more. And hold it. Reach the top arm up. Now just lift your hips off the ground. Just feel that your wrist is okay. And then lifting your knees up, find your balance and hold it here. Turn over so you're coming onto all fours. And then lower your knees, release the feet, round your spine, and just allow yourself to sit back. You can stay here, or you can add your gentle trampoline in. Last one. And come all the way forward. Now, stretch one leg back. Place the toes on the ground. Stretch the other leg back. Place the toes on the ground. You're holding your plank position. Simply let your knees come to the floor. Let your feet relax out. And now you're going to lower your chest and your belly to the ground. Using abdominals, using bum, using the strength of your arms to come all the way down. I want you to stretch your left arm out to the side like a Boeing 747 and look towards the right. Bend the right knee and start to roll yourself over. So you're coming into a little bit of a twist of the spine. And if you can, you're going to place that right foot to the floor behind you. But if it's not comfortable in your spine, then don't force it. And ideally, what we should be feeling here is a stretch along the front of the shoulder and the front arm line now. Stay with your breath. Notice on your own body where this is registering for you today. And then slowly come all the way forward, rolling onto your stomach. Stretch your leg out, and then simply switch arms. So your right arm goes to the side, and now you're going to turn your head and look the other way. Bend the left knee, and then roll yourself on towards that right shoulder, looking for the floor with the left foot. And we breathe. Taking one more breath in, and then unravel yourself, coming all the way to the center, and then releasing that leg out. Now take your hands quite wide. Have your hands in line with your shoulders and the elbows down. Hover the tip of your nose, your legs are a little bit apart, and you want to engage the bum cheek so that you feel that your pelvis is anchored, but just lightly engage, like 10%, don't grip. Start by lifting your eye line and come up into a little baby cobra. Stay here for a moment and double check that your heart is lifted, that your shoulder blades are gently squeezing together. And then see if you can squeeze your thigh muscle so that your legs are straight. And then perhaps you can lift your legs just off the floor. It is not a big lift. Just holding it there for a moment. And then let your legs come down. And then lower your chest and hover the tip of your nose. Do you need to move anything? Feel free to move your arms and your legs if you need. Coming up into baby cobra. Lifting just up through your heart. Hold it for a moment. Squeeze your thigh muscles. And then lift your legs just up off the ground. Now, you can stay there, or perhaps you can hover your arms. So now the only thing supporting you are your back muscles. Place your arms down, lower your legs, and then lower your chest. Keep that feeling of creating space. Lifting up through the chest. Pause for a moment. Squeezing your thigh muscles and bringing your legs just up off the ground. Double check that you haven't let your belly hang out. Hover your arms up off the ground. Now you can stay here, or why don't you stretch one arm forward and bring it back in. How about the other side? And now, how about both arms? Nice. And in you come, hold it. Placing arms down, placing legs, and lower the chest. One more time. This is looking good. Coming up into baby cobra. Send your heart forward away from the heels of your feet. Squeezing thigh muscles. Lifting the legs just up off the ground. Hover your arms just up off the ground. Reaching both arms forward. Can you take the arms still, and let's just kick the legs. Tiny little kicks. Tiny. Can you squeeze the thigh muscles to keep the legs straight? If this is hurting you, then why don't you put your arms back down? No big deal. And stop. Bend the elbows, arms, legs, chest, and placing both hands underneath the shoulders. Press all the way up and back. And let's come into our resting position. So this is just a lovely counter stretch extension that you've just done. There's no right or wrong position for anything here, provided that you're feeling a release in your back. Taking just a few moments to breathe. And then start to walk your hands back towards your knees, rolling up through your spine. And now I just want you to bring your left shin to the front like this. So you're sitting in a figure of four position. And you can sit on a cushion if you need to. Take your hands, slide them up your legs so that they are just up at the top of your thighs where your hip bones are. And then just start rolling the hips in and back. And as you roll at the hip joint, just notice how there's this corresponding movement through the pelvis and through the spine. And this particular position with the legs is so fantastic for our hips because it brings one hip into internal rotation and the other hip into external rotation, and it helps us keep our mobility. And release, placing your hands just a little bit behind you, then come up and see if you can lift your legs in the air and balance. And if you're feeling pretty comfortable here, you can take your hands off the floor and you can bring them out in front of you and start to notice all the muscles that are holding you in this position right here. You might feel the back of the legs, the hamstrings, the hips at the front, the hip flexors, the abdominal muscles. And then moving your hands just to the floor again. And now coming into that same seat, the antler pose or the figure of four, but with your right leg in front. And then slide your hands up your thigh muscles until you reach the hip joint. And then we start to roll the hips in and back. So you're actually giving yourself a tactile cue with your hands at your hips. And perhaps you're even able to give yourself like a bit of guidance about the movement. Maybe helping yourself explore a slightly bigger range. And let's just do one more. And center. Moving your hands a little bit behind you, bringing your feet up. And once again, Coming into a balanced position, either fingers on the floor or hands out in front. And this time, see if you're comfortable to close your eyes. So you're removing all of the external surroundings, bringing your awareness inwards, feeling your body and feeling your breath. And on your next breath, open your eyes and placing your feet all the way down. So I'm quite far back on the mat, so I'm going to come forward, separate the knees and the feet slightly, arms out in front of you. On your breath, start curling yourself back. Now, if you've got sort of a very strong hollow in your lower back, you might want to put like a little towel or a pillow there. And then curl forward and lift up nice and tall. And again, curl back. See if you can go just a little bit further this time without straining. And roll forward and lift up. And again, curl back. And again, we're going to go a little bit further. So if you need to start using your hands to help you, then you use your hands to help you. And forward. Can you feel those abdominals engaging, okay? And exhale, curl back. Give yourself support with your hands or underneath your lower back. Can you go a little further? So I'm almost to a point where my bra strap is touching. And then I'm going to curl forward and lift up. We've got one more set. And we're going to curl back. And I want you to see if you can go all the way down with control. Just let your hands go up towards the ceiling. I am going to ask you to roll up again, just because it's fun. Lift your head. Exhale. Yes. Fantastic. Lift up. And now we're going to go down. We get to stay there for a bit. Rolling back. Just bringing your hands up towards the ceiling and then stay there. Now walk your feet a little bit closer in towards your bottom, or you can bring your bottom down towards your feet, whatever works for you. You're going to keep your arms in the air and we're going to do a pelvic curl. So start by tilting your hips and then rolling up. Now remember we did this yesterday, but yesterday we had our arms on the floor. So now with the arms lifted, it's a bit more challenging. It's open chain work. And we start to ripple down through the spine. Think of softening from the back of the throat and then releasing your body gently. Now please move your arms and legs if you need. And again, tilting hips. If it feels too unstable for you here with your arms in the air, then why not put your arms on the floor? No big deal. Take a breath in, lovely squeeze in the bum cheeks. And we get to ripple down through the spine. Imprint. And release. And now we're going to get to do one more time. And tilting the hips. Rolling up. Now I want you to hold it here. Can you open the right arm out to the side without letting it actually rest on the floor? And then bring that arm back up again. Take the left arm to the left. Control the movement. And it comes back up again. Take the right arm to the right. And are you able to keep your pelvis level? Because this is quite a challenge for your sling patterns. And back up it comes. And left arm to the left. Bringing that arm back up. Keep your arms in the air. And we get to ripple down through the spine. Imprint. And release at the bottom. Now, wiggle your knees and your feet together. So your knees and your feet are touching. Interlock the fingers. Hands go underneath your head for support. And then do a little bit of a wiggle of the spine and the ribs so that you really create some space for yourself. And then center your head. Elbows are floating. Lower back is in a happy place. And then you need to stabilize. Keep squeezing your legs together. Nod your chin. Breathe out. Lifting rib cage forward, looking towards the knees. Do you have pelvic stability? And then inhale to lower the rib cage back. And again, use your breath out to draw you forward and get that flattening of the abdominals. And releasing gently down. We're going to do 3 more. Breathing out. Feel how the upper abdominals are working, and then they are controlling your movement back down. 2 more. Upper abs. And release. 1 more time. Curl head and shoulders forward, and I want you to stay here for a moment. Let your knees open just a little bit, peeking through. And exhale to squeeze the knees closed, inner thighs. And again, inhale to open. Exhale and squeeze. 3 more. Can you feel when you squeeze your inner thighs how it intensifies the abdominal connection? And that's all part of your deep midline. That's all part of your core. Exhale, squeeze. Don't move. Can you lift your chest a bit higher? Can you open your elbows a little bit? Can you flatten your abdominals? And then lower head and shoulders all the way down. Just push the elbows back for a second. And if it feels good for you, you can let your knees open into a little bit of a butterfly position for a second. Just feeling everything stretch and release a little bit. And then bringing the knees up together again, squeezing them together. Bring your elbows up so that they're floating in the corner of your eye. We're going to nod the chin. Exhale, slide ribcage forward, stabilizing the pelvis, and you hold. Do a little twist with your ribs towards the right, and come back to the center. Do a little twist to the left, come back to the center. Now listen up, twist to the right and stop. Backtrack halfway, open the left elbow, and pull your left ribs a little bit towards your right thigh. That's your rotation. Come to the center, and now rotate to the left. Backtrack halfway. Open right elbow. Lift your right ribs towards the left thigh. That's your rotation. Come to the center. 4 more rotations. Go to the right. Squeeze the inner thighs through the center. To the left. And center. Keeping it small. Keeping it precise. 1 more time to the left. Come to the center. Don't move. Can you lift a little higher? Open your elbows. Flatten your tummies. And relaxing all the way down. Nicely done, guys. Stretch your arms overhead. Reaching your legs out nice and long. Good morning stretch. Ugh. And then let's make a little croissant to one side. And a little croissant to the other side. And coming back to the center. You're going to keep your left leg on the floor, and I want you to just bring your right knee up in towards your chest. Slip your hands just behind the thigh, flexing the foot, and let's just do a couple of hamstring releases. One more time. And release. Now stay where you are. Place your hands on your pelvic bones. Bringing your right knee to a bent tabletop position and your left leg is on the floor. Take a moment to find stability through your pelvis and your lumbar spine. And you're going to lightly tap the right toes to the floor and lift them up again. Let's just do that a few more times. Are you able to move independently from the hip joints without compensating at the pelvis or the lumbar spine? So we're just practicing our disassociation of the hips so that tomorrow we can progress even further. And let's just do 2 more. 1 more. And hold it. Hug your knee in towards you 1 more time. And stretch that right leg out on the floor. Bringing your left knee in towards your chest. Move your hands to the back of your thigh, flexing the foot. And a few releases of stretching the leg up and in. Keep breathing. As much as possible, trying to keep your head and shoulders on the ground with the back of your neck lengthened. So if that means you need a pillow under your head, then put a pillow there. And release. Now, bring your hands onto your pelvis, bringing your knee up to a 90-degree angle. And when you're ready, gently tapping the toe down and up. So again, just feeling what's happening with your pelvis and your lumbar spine as you move your leg. And oftentimes you'll find that one side is very easy to control and the other side is a little bit odd. Like when I'm doing my left leg now, I can feel my right hip is trying to roll over. So I've got to do like an extra connection with my right obliques here to help me control this. 1 more time. And then hug your knee in towards your chest. And stretching that leg all the way out. So guys, we're going to try and do 1 roll up into a sitting position. So you can decide, legs pointed, flexed, together, apart, whatever works for you. Bringing your hands up towards the sky. How far back can you take your arms without letting the rib cage pop? We're ready to go from here. Inhale, lifting arms, lifting head, breathing as we start curling all the way forward. Stopping with your nose just in line with your pubic bone. And then unravel your spine and lifting up and tall. Good. Let your arms come down. Come even more forward on your mat because we're going to do our rolling exercise, our rolling like a ball. So start with your hands behind your thighs, lifting your feet up so you can find your balance. Ankles together, you can have the knees together if it's comfortable for you. The most important thing here is to round your spine, which also means you've got to tuck your chin in. So look at your own belly button and keep looking at it for the whole exercise. Roll to your shoulders, letting your feet help you if you need. Starting a gentle rolling. And then we're going to do just a few more like this. And then pause here for a moment. If this is challenging for you, you're going to keep doing that. If you want to take it up a level, move your hands to the front of your shins, and now there's no more kicking of your feet. We're going to inhale back and exhale forward. Keep your chin tucked in so there's no bashing of your neck or your head round. Inhale back, exhale forward, 1 more time. And balance, balance, and placing your feet down. Nicely done, guys. Please come up into a standing position. And you can stand anywhere on your mat. So I'm just going to stand facing towards you guys. So we're going to keep adding on to that rolling exercise. So at the end of the week, we'll be doing the open leg rocker. Yay! So feet in line with each other. Let your arms settle beside you. Make any wiggles or adjustments that you need. And then let your gaze soften. Perhaps allow your eyes to close completely. Let yourself slow down and to just feel all the movement in the past hour. Allow them to integrate and to assimilate into your body. With your eyes closed, do a little bit of a rocking action forwards and backwards. Again, keeping it nice and small, keeping your balance on your 2 feet. Center yourself over the arches of your feet, and then perhaps a bit of a rocking from side to side. And center yourself on the right and the left foot. Take a moment to turn your gaze inwards. Feeling your physical body from the inside out. Noticing your breath. Each inhale and each exhale as it moves through your body. Take a moment to listen to your heartbeat. Taking one deep breath in through your nose, open your mouth and sigh. Blink your eyes open. We do 1 roll down to finish the session. When you're ready, nod your chin. Peeling forward just until your hands are hanging in front of your knees. Just stay here and observe. How does this feel in comparison to when we started an hour ago? And then rolling forward from the crease of the hip, coming all the way down towards the ground. And then pausing there and observing how this feels. What shift has taken place? Take a breath in. Exhale, roll yourself back up. Feeling the lift on the front of your body. Feeling the cascading downwards on the back of your body. And then perhaps just roll your shoulders back and around. Very, very nice, you guys. How do you feel? That felt okay?
Great.
Fantastic.
Jeez, that just flew by.
I love it when you say that.